Well, welcome back into the Mid Norfolk garden. In this video we're going to show you how to lift and divide irises. It's an ideal time just after they've finished flowering to get new plants established and grown on well and well rooted in before the autumn, and there gives you a really good chance that they will flower beautifully in the position that you're putting them and give you a fantastic display next year. These have just finished flowering, as you can see. Kate's just been deadheading these, and what we'll do is remove these flowering stems down to the first leaf, just to remove any seed pods that some of these will have formed. It's better to split and divide irises, far easier way of propagating them quickly, and you're getting clones as opposed to crosses, so you know exactly what the flower colour is going to be by doing it in this technique. And this is one that I'm very keen to propagate this year. It's a really nice dark blue, almost black flowered iris, pure colour, really nice coloured throat on it as well, a lovely one. Don't know its name, and when you come to try and identify irises, you've got a right job on, because there are literally thousands of heritage varieties in the records that are all, when you look at them, very, very similar. And when you try and identify them by leaf colour or leaf type or shape, again, not very helpful, because they're all very much a similar design. But this one, you can tell, slightly different from the ones around it by that quite typical purplish discoloration towards the base of the leaves. Nice healthy leaves. This one hasn't had any dieback. It's grown well this season despite the drought we had earlier on here in the UK in late spring. They flowered beautifully, and now I'm going to show you the technique for lifting these with a fork to try and preserve as much of the root as possible, how to trim the leaves back, and we'll replant a couple of the tubers or rhizomes back in here and move some of the excess stock that we'll get off this plant to start a new clump. Right, just before we're going to do that, Kate's going to show you how to deadhead these. We've got these ones on the end which have got the stem still on. You're going down to just above the first leaf, and they cut through very easily with a pair of secateurs or scissors, ideally secateurs.
These snips. They're much sharper than secateurs.
And that just removes any seed pods that you will see forming on some of your irises, and allows all the energy of the Irish plant to go back into the rhizome and to grow a healthy, strong, vigorous plant with a lot of energy to flower the following season. If you do let them form seeds, then some of that energy is obviously going to be transferred into production of seeds. And Ted's just keeping a careful eye on Kate. Is that being done correctly, Ted?
Yep, they're all
Yeah,
done.
he seems happy. Right, now what I'm going to do now is get a fork well under this rhizome and try and lift it out, gently teasing out as much of the roots without damaging them as I possibly can. Okay, so I'm going to get my fork in. It's quite tricky because there's concrete right the way down to there.
Plus a small dog.
It's not moving at all. I don't know what that one's growing on.
Do you know what? Maybe we should just leave that one. Or you're just going to break it, I think, if you try and get it out. Can we just leave that one? Because it did flower so beautifully. I think you're going to break it.
That's it.
Oh,
there we go. Right, okay. That was tricky because there's a concrete just on the edge of here.
Oh, it's a lovely big one. But can we have
There
some
we
back
go.
in there? Because it's flowered so well in there.
Yes, it is going back here. Right, now usually these will quite often just
Sorry
break
about that.
apart, as you can see. And then each of these, if they've got some roots coming out of them, will form new plants, and you can just literally, gently
Really?
oyster them away.
Ooh.
And there's a new plant. New plant.
Oh, can we put the nice big one back
New
in?
plant. And the one with the flower stem will very often be the terminal bud that's come off the rhizome, and here you can see the lovely rhizome with all the growth there. So that's the one that we will replant back in.
Oh, good.
And all these
Oops, let me pull back
we
a bit.
can move to establish a new clump. And again, with this one, the terminal bud, again, that rhizome, although it doesn't look particularly healthy and hasn't got a good bud on the end, it's solid, and you'll be surprised if you're patient. Do you see these little buds coming up here? In a year's time, that will have grown into a new plant. So don't throw the old rhizomes away. They'll quite often look very moth-eaten, have holes in them. If they're soft and squishy, sometimes if they've got rot in them, obviously take them off and get rid of them.
Maybe we should cut that
But
bit
otherwise,
off.
they will go back in.
So we've got about 10 plants out of that, have we?
Now the technique for these plants, because as you can see, they've got very little in the way of roots to support them. If you were to replant that, the wind drag on this
and the
would
water
be
loss
substantial, and they would lose a lot of water. So the technique is to form an arrowhead by cutting up both sides, and that is what you can replant just on the surface or just below the surface. They're quite resilient and they will take a bit of planting under the surface. The old traditional books always talk in terms of planting them on a north-south aspect so that the rhizome gets some sun on it. I don't find that makes a blind bit of difference, to be honest, in how they flower, as long as they're well planted and not too deeply planted. What you don't want to do is bury this at that level. You want the soil at most just to cover the top of that
Weirdly,
rhizome.
a lot of the ones in this border are buried quite deep, aren't they?
Well, we've got them top dressed under gravel, but they're not particularly...
And they have flowered really well though, haven't they? But maybe
buried deep.
They are buried a little deep.
They may be a little deep, but they've done very well with that.
So ideally,
and again, what I'm doing is just tidying up these, taking off any brown or dying leaves.
So ideally, you want the rhizome to get some sun on it, don't you? That's why that's what they've always traditionally say.
And they do like full sun. They don't want to be planted in heavy shade.
Oh no, they're definitely a sun-loving plant. So you need a full sun spot really for them, don't you? Although we have got one in the front that's not in full sun. It gets the morning sun, and it's flowered fantastically, hasn't it?
It has done really, really well.
So it just shows you. And we've also, sometimes we were splitting them a couple of years ago, and we had loads of old bits, and Mike thought they'll never do anything, and I just stuck them all in a bit of empty soil I had, and even they've flowered, haven't they? They've formed really nice plants.
Now we'll plant these at around 6 to 8 inch intervals. They can be put into a clump or into a row to grow on. It's best to put them where you're going to want them flowering next year, because these will get established very quickly. Keep them well watered during the first couple of months until you just see the new growth starting to come, and what you'll see is new leaves growing up, and they'll form a good sized plant by the end of the first season and should flower next year.
And you can compost all the leaves. They can go straight on the compost heap.
And what we're going to do is replant a couple back in here, so we've got the original
please.
plant growing beautifully. I think this might be the same one looking at it, which is already there, but there's a good spacing between those, and they're only single leaf growths coming out the top. So yeah, look, that's why I couldn't get my fork in. I've got a concrete block.
That's maybe why it did so well.
Well,
they do like it quite
nice
tough. Are we going to try planting it the other way around so it gets the sun? Because that one is
way.
right at the back of the border, isn't it? And let's set a bit of the rhizome exposed, or yeah.
There we go.
Brilliant. Hopefully the dogs don't knock it over.
Should grow away. And I might put that bit back in there, but actually
can we cut the rotten bit off? Because that might spread that rot.
Well, that's going to shoot.
Don't you normally get a knife and cut the rotten bit? Oh, is it not rotten? I thought it was rotten. I'll separate it into two maybe. No, it looked rotten, didn't it?
That
it's
will
not.
grow away.
No.
It's got buds on it.
Stick it back in then.
They'll all grow.
All those little bits can go straight back in, and they'll probably grow on.
They'll all form new iris plants.
You're going to put a few more back in then?
Let me see if I can get a couple in here, but that's concrete.
Should have brought a trowel out really. They might like it tough, you know, because that one flowered really well.
Well, it's very good fertile soil actually under here.
I wonder if they're a bit like hollyhocks. They like it tough, but they don't like a lot of competition.
There we go.
What about those tiny little bits?
Into a new border.
Can they just go back in the ground?
Well, I don't want them any closer than that to the shed.
Or can we take it
We've
further
got
back?
These seedlings as well.
I was thinking, oh right.
No, I don't think I can get any more in there.
Okay.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Fair enough. I'll take a pause while we move. So I've just come over here to show you some more of the irises that we're going to be working on this evening. So these ones are all going to need deadheading. I don't know if Mike's planning on splitting those. And then there's another patch over here that I'm going to be deadheading. So this is June's the right time of year to deadhead your irises. And they look a lot tidier when I finish. We've still got a couple flowering. This is a lovely blue one. Anyway, we better go and find Mike. I'm not sure where he's gone. Just bear with me. What have you got there? A lovely bone. Okay, so I found him. Oh golly, what is that? What was that?
That's an old aster.
Why is it? Why have you put? Oh, you dug it out.
No, we're trying to get rid of it.
We are trying to get rid of it. Could it go into? Could it go into the wild garden? Let's keep
into
it.
the dell.
Plant it in the wild. Oh, wild bit. Well, I thought you did it.
I
Do you know? I thought you dug at one of my what are those things called? Are they dahlias?
Yeah.
I thought you dug at one of my dahlias.
Well, this would be a good spot to put, I think, a new clump.
As long as there's no aster left in there.
No, I think I've got it out. That can all go down to the dell.
I need to pick my carnations, or the rain's played havoc with them.
Are you still filming?
I am.
Okay, let's go.
Sorry. And look, I'm already going. So I'm planting quite a lot of irises into this area of the garden this year, because this is my cutting garden. So I've got dahlias in here, I've got carnations in here, I've got perennial wallflower in here, I've got roses, spring bulbs. There's also quite a lot of wildflowers in here, as you could probably see. Anyway, let's get back to Mike. Oh, I should have deadheaded these ones before we started. So there we go. Oh, I think we've got thunder coming. Can you hear that?
That does not sound helpful.
No. So the weather's a bit hit and miss today. Sun showers and thunder. So we're nearly finished, you'd be glad to hear. So there we are. How many have we got? How many new plants have we got? Oh, that one.
I'm going to plant that.
Definitely put it in. I bet it'll shoot.
It's definitely going to
Oh,
shoot.
and the rain's coming. I can feel it.
And there's the other little...
Quickly, Mike, it's going to thunder and about lightning on us. So how many new plants have we got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And the ones we put back in.
Yeah,
So that was about
clump.
10 plants out of one clump, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope you found this helpful. If you've got any questions about deadheading irises, please pop that in the near the pond.
Will do.
Or deadheading irises, or splitting irises, pop them in comments. We're always happy to answer. And I'll try and remember to show you what these look like in one of the later videos once they get going. Anyway, thanks for joining us both. Bye for now. We'll just give you a little peek into the garden to see what's happening. Whoops, apart from tripping over a bucket, I'll just show you this giant rose over here. And then I'll be running in to get out of the rain. It's just a little PS at the end. So this is incredible, this rose. It's a climbing rose called Paul's Himalayan Musk. And it's running through these fruit trees. Anyway, thank you for joining us. The sky has gone very dark and black. I think Mike was going to be about 5 minutes planting that out near the pond. Anyway, once again, bye for now.